Sefer Shemot, the book of Exodus, chapter 30. Torah Portione Exodus. Torah portion, when you take. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, when you take the census of the children of Israel to register them, then each one shall give an atonement for his life to Yahweh. When you register them, so that there is no plague among them when you register them. Everyone among those who are registered is to give this, half a shekel according to the shekel of the set-apart place, 20 gerahs being a shekel. The half shekel is the contribution to Yahweh. Everyone passing over to be registered from 20 years old and above gives a contribution to Yahweh. The rich does not give more, and the poor does not give less than half a shekel. When you give a contribution to Yahweh, to make atonement for yourselves, and you shall take the silver for the atonement from the children of Israel, and give it for the service of the tent of appointment. And it shall be to the children of Israel for a remembrance before Yahweh, to make atonement for yourselves. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, and you shall make a basin of bronze, with its stand also bronze, for washing. And you shall put it between the tent of appointment and the slaughter place, and shall put water in it. And Aharon and his sons shall wash from it their hands and their feet. When they go into the tent of appointment, or when they come near the slaughter place to attend, to burn an offering made by fire to Yahweh, they wash with water, lest they die. And they shall wash their hands and their feet, lest they die. And it shall be a law forever to them, to him and his seed throughout their generations. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, and take for yourself choice spices, 500 of liquid myrrh, and half as much, 250 of sweet-smelling cinnamon, and 250 of sweet-smelling cane, and 500 of cassia, according to the shekel of the set-apart place, and a hin of olive oil. And you shall make from these a set-apart anointing oil, a compound, blended, the work of a perfumer. It is a set-apart anointing oil. And with it you shall anoint the tent of appointment, and the ark of the witness, and the table and all its utensils, and the lampstand and its utensils, and the slaughter place of incense, and the slaughter place of ascending offering with all its utensils, and the basin and its stand. You shall set them apart, and they shall be most set apart. Whatever touches them is to be set apart. And you shall anoint Aharon and his sons, and set them apart to serve as priests to me, and speak to the children of Israel, saying, This is a set-apart anointing oil to me throughout your generations. It shall not be poured on the flesh of a man, and make no other like it, according to its composition. It is set apart to you. Whoever compounds like it, or whoever puts any of it on a stranger, shall be cut off from his people. And Yahweh said to Moshe, take sweet spices, fragrant gum, and cinnamon, and galbanum, and clear frankincense with these sweet spices, all in equal amounts. Then you shall make of these an incense, a compound, work of a perfumer, salted, clean, set apart. And you shall beat some of it very fine, and put some of it before the witness in the tent of appointment where I meet with you. It is most set apart to you. And the incense which you make, do not make any for yourselves, according to its composition. It is set apart to you for Yahweh. Whoever makes any like it, to smell it, he shall be cut off from his people. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, see, I have called by name Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehudah. And I have filled him with the Ruach of Elohim in wisdom, and in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all work, to make designs for work in gold, and in silver, and in bronze, and in cutting stones for setting, and in carving wood, and to work in all work. And I have appointed with him Aholiab, son of Achisamach, of the tribe of Dan. And I have put wisdom in the hearts of everyone who is wise-hearted, and they shall make all that I have commanded you. The tent of appointment, and the ark of the witness, and the lid of atonement that is on it, and all the utensils of the tent, and the table, and its utensils, and the clean gold lampstand with all its utensils, and the slaughter place of incense, and the slaughter place of ascending offering with all its utensils, and the basin and its stand, and the woven garments, and the set-apart garments for Aharon the priest, and the garments of his sons for serving as priests, and the anointing oil and sweet incense for the set-apart place, according to all that I have commanded you, they are to do. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, And you, speak to the children of Israel, saying, My Sabbaths you are to guard, by all means, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, to know that I, Yahweh, am setting you apart. And you shall guard the Sabbath, for it is set apart to you. Everyone who profanes it shall certainly be put to death. For anyone who does work on it, that being shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days work is done, and on the seventh is a Sabbath of rest, set apart to Yahweh. Everyone doing work on the Sabbath day shall certainly be put to death. And the children of Israel shall guard the Sabbath, to perform the Sabbath throughout their generations as an everlasting covenant. Between me and the children of Israel it is a sign forever. For in 6 days Yahweh made the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. And when he had ended speaking with him on Mount Sinai, he gave Moshe 2 tablets of the witness, tablets of stone, written with the finger of Elohim. And when the people saw that Moshe was so long in coming down from the mountain, the people gathered together to Aharon, and said to him, Arise, make us mighty ones who go before us. For this Moshe, the man who brought us up out of the land of Mitzrayim, we do not know what has become of him. And Aharon said to them, Take off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring them to me. And all the people took off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them to Aharon. And he took from their hand, and he formed it with an engraving tool, and made a molded calf. And they said, This is your mighty one, O Yisrael, that brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. And Aharon saw and built a slaughter place before it. And Aharon called out and said, Tomorrow is a festival to Yahweh. And they rose early on the next day, and offered ascending offerings, and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Yahweh said to Moshe, Go, get down, for your people whom you brought out of the land of Mitzrayim have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them. They have made themselves a molten calf, and have bowed themselves to it, and slaughtered to it, and said, This is your mighty one, O Yisrael, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. And Yahweh said to Moshe, I have seen this people, and see, it is a stiff-necked people. And now, let me alone, that my wrath might burn against them, and I consume them, and I make of you a great nation. But Moshe pleaded with Yahweh his Elohim, and said, Yahweh, why does your wrath burn against your people, whom you have brought out of the land of Mitzrayim with great power and with a strong hand? Why should the Mizrites speak and say, For evil he brought them out to kill them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from the heat of your wrath, and relent from this evil to your people. Remember Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yisrael, your servants, to whom you swore by yourself and said to them, I increase your seed like the stars of the heavens. And all this land that I have spoken of, I give to your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And Yahweh relented from the evil which he said he would do to his people. And Moshe turned and went down from the mountain, and in his hand were the 2 tablets of the witness, tablets written on both their sides, written on the one and on the other. And the tablets were the work of Elohim, and the writing was the writing of Elohim, engraved on the tablets. And Yehoshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, and he said to Moshe, A noise of battle in the camp? And he said, It is not the sound of those who shout of might, nor is it the sound of those who cry out in weakness, but the sound of singing that I hear. And it came to be, as soon as he came near the camp, that he saw the calf and the dancing. And Moshe's displeasure burnt, and he threw the tablets out of his hands and broke them at the foot of the mountain. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire, and ground it into powder, and scattered it on the face of the water, and made the children of Israel drink it. And Moshe said to Aharon, "What did this people do to you that you have brought so great a sin upon them?" And Aharon said, "Do not let the displeasure of my master burn. You know the people, that it is an evil." And they said to me, "Make us mighty ones who go before us. For this Moshe, the man who brought us out of the land of Mitzrayim, we do not know what has become of him." And I said to them, "Whoever has gold, let them take it off." And they gave it to me, and I threw it into the fire, and this calf came out. And Moshe saw that the people were let loose, for Aharon had let them loose, to their shame among their enemies. And Moshe stood in the entrance of the camp and said, "Who is for Yahweh?" "To me." And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves to him. And he said to them, "Thus said Yahweh, Elohim of Yisrael, each one put his sword on his side, pass over to and fro from gate to gate in the camp, and each one kill his brother, and each one his friend, and each one his relative." And the sons of Levi did according to the word of Moshe, and about 3,000 men of the people fell that day. And Moshe said, "You are ordained from Yahweh today, since each one has been against his son and his brother, so as to bring upon you a blessing today." And it came to be on the next day that Moshe said to the people, You have sinned a great sin, and now I am going up to Yahweh, if I might atone for your sin." And Moshe returned to Yahweh and said, "Oh, these people have sinned a great sin, and have made for themselves a mighty one of gold. And now, if you would forgive their sin, but if not, please blot me out of your book which you have written." And Yahweh said to Moshe, "Whoever has sinned against me, I blot him out of my book. And now, go, lead the people to the place of which I have spoken to you. See, my messenger goes before you, and in the day of my visitation, I shall visit their sin upon them." And Yahweh plagued the people because they made the calf, which Aharon made. And Yahweh said to Moshe, Go up from here, you and the people whom you have brought out of the land of Mitzrayim, to the land of which I swore to Abraham, to Yitzchak, and to Jacob, saying, To your seed I give it. And I shall send my messenger before you, and I shall drive out the Canaanite, and the Amorite, and the Kittite, and the Perizzite, and the Kiwite, and the Jebusite, to a land flowing with milk and honey. For I do not go up in your midst, because you are a stiff-necked people, lest I consume you on the way. And when the people heard this evil word, they mourned, and no one put on his ornaments. Yahweh said to Moshe, "Say to the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. Should I go up in your midst for one moment, I shall consume you. And now take off your ornaments, and I shall know what to do to you." So the children of Israel took off their ornaments at Mount Horeb. Moshe took his tent and pitched it outside the camp, far from the camp, and called it the tent of appointment. And it came to be that everyone who sought Yahweh went out to the tent of appointment which was outside the camp. And it came to be, whenever Moshe went out to the tent, that all the people rose, and each man stood at his tent door and watched Moshe until he entered the tent. And it came to be, when Moshe entered the tent, that the column of cloud descended and stood at the door of the tent, and he spoke with Moshe. And all the people saw the column of cloud standing at the tent door. And all the people rose and bowed themselves, each one at the door of his tent. Thus Yahweh spoke to Moshe face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. And he would return to the camp, but his servant Yehoshua son of Nun, a young man, did not leave the tent. Moshe said to Yahweh, "See, you are saying to me, bring up this people. But you have not made known to me whom you would send with me, though you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor in my eyes. And now, please, if I have found favor in your eyes, please show me your way and let me know you, so that I find favor in your eyes. And consider that this nation is your people. And he said, my presence does go, and I shall give you rest. And he said to him, if your presence is not going, do not lead us up from here. For how then shall it be known that I have found favor in your eyes, I and your people, except you go with us? Then we shall be distinguished, I and your people, from all the people who are upon the face of the earth. And Yahweh said to Moshe, even this word you have spoken I shall do, for you have found favor in my eyes, and I know you by name. Then he said, please show me your esteem. And he said, I shall cause all my goodness to pass before you, and I shall proclaim the name of Yahweh before you, and I shall favor him whom I favor, and shall have compassion on him whom I have compassion. But he said, you are unable to see my face, for no man does see me and live. And Yahweh said, see, there is a place with me, and you shall stand on the rock. And it shall be, while my esteem passes by, that I shall put you in the cleft of the rock and cover you with my hand, while I pass by. Then I shall take away my hand, and you shall see my back, but my face shall not be seen. And Yahweh said to Moshe, cut 2 tablets of stone like the first one, and I shall write on these tablets the words that were on the first tablets which you broke. And be ready in the morning, then you shall come up in the morning to Mount Sinai, and present yourselves to me there on the top of the mountain. Let no man come up with you, and let no man be seen in all the mountain, and let not even the flock or the herd feed in front of that mountain. And he cut 2 tablets of stone like the first ones. Then Moshe rose early in the morning, and went up Mount Sinai, as Yahweh had commanded him, and he took 2 tablets of stone in his hand. And Yahweh came down in a cloud and stood with him there, and proclaimed the name Yahweh. And Yahweh passed before him, and proclaimed, Yahweh, Yahweh, an El compassionate and showing favor, patient and great in loving commitment and truth, watching over loving commitment for thousands, forgiving crookedness and transgression and sin, but by no means leaving unpunished, visiting the crookedness of the fathers upon the children and the children's children to the 3rd and the 4th generation. And Moshe hurried and bowed himself toward the earth and did obeisance, and said, if now I have found favor in your eyes, O Yahweh, I pray, let Yahweh go on in our midst, even though we are a stiff-necked people, and forgive our crookedness and our sin, and take us as your inheritance. And he said, see, I am making a covenant before all your people. I am going to do wonders such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among whom you are shall see the work of Yahweh, for what I am doing with you is awesome. Guard what I command you today. See, I am driving out from before you the Amorite, and the Canaanite, and the Kittite, and the Perizzite, and the Kiwite, and the Jebusite. Guard yourself, lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land where you are going, lest it be a snare in your midst. But break down their slaughter places, and smash their pillars, and cut down their Asherim. For you do not bow yourselves to another mighty one. For Yahweh, whose name is jealous, is a jealous El. Lest you make a covenant with the inhabitants of the land, and they whore after their mighty ones, and slaughter to their mighty ones, and one of them invites you, and you eat of his slaughterings. And you take of his daughters for your sons, and his daughters whore after their mighty ones, and make your sons whore after their mighty ones. Do not make a molded mighty one for yourselves. Guard the festival of Mazot. For 7 days you eat unleavened bread, as I commanded you, in the appointed time of the new month of Abib, because in the new month of Abib you came out from Mitzrayim. Everyone opening the womb is mine, and every male firstborn among your livestock, whether bull or sheep, But the firstborn of a donkey you ransom with a lamb. And if you do not ransom, then you shall break his neck. Every firstborn of your sons you shall ransom, and they shall not appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you work, but on the seventh day you rest. In plowing time and in harvest you rest. And perform the festival of Shavuot for yourself, of the first fruits of wheat harvest, and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times in the year all your men are to appear before the Master Yahweh, the Elohim of Yisrael. For I dispossess nations before you, and shall enlarge your borders, and let no one covet your land when you go up to appear before Yahweh your Elohim 3 times in the year. Do not slay the blood of my slaughtering with leaven, and do not let the slaughtering of the festival of the Pesach remain until morning. Bring the first of the firstfruits of your land to the house of Yahweh your Elohim. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. Yahweh said to Moshe, Write these words, for according to the mouth of these words I have made a covenant with you and with Israel. And he was there with Yahweh 40 days and 40 nights. He did not eat bread, and he did not drink water. And he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 words. And it came to be when Moshe came down from Mount Sinai, while the 2 tablets of the witness were in Moshe's hand, when he came down from the mountain, that Moshe did not know that the skin of his face shone, since he had spoken with him. And Aharon and all the children of Israel looked at Moshe, and saw the skin of his face shone, and they were afraid to come near him. But Moshe called out to them, and Aharon and all the rulers of the congregation returned to him. And Moshe spoke to them. And afterward all the children of Israel came near, and he commanded them all that Yahweh had spoken with him on Mount Sinai. And when Moshe ended speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But whenever Moshe went in before Yahweh to speak with him, he would remove the veil until he came out. And when he came out, he spoke to the children of Israel what he had been commanded. And the children of Israel would see the face of Moshe, that the skin of Moshe's face shone, and Moshe would put the veil on his face again until he went in to speak with him. Salah. Shalom, Yisrael.